guys, and welcome to Delicate Flavors with Pallavi. Today we are going to make a super quick mutton biryani. Yes, you heard it right, a super quick mutton biryani. I have simplified the recipe to my level best to make it into 3 components. First is the marination of the meat. Second is making the rice in which you don't have to drain off the excess water. And third is layering the biryanis. This is an under 90-minute recipe and I trust you when you try it, you'll tell me in the comment section below that you have loved it. Let us start with the making of a simplified mutton biryani. So our super fast biryani is ready, which I will just garnish it with a little bit of mint leaves and some coriander leaves, and we will For making a super fast mutton biryani, we will start with step 1, which is marinating the meat. Now in my case, the lamb is very tender. It will cook in just 1 whistle, so I am not using a tenderizer. But if you have a meat which is matured, do use raw papaya as a tenderizer. In my case here, I am skipping the tenderizer process and straight away heading to the marination. So for the marination, first what I have taken is a teaspoon of turmeric and a tablespoon of red chili powder. Red chili powder is to your taste. 1 big spoon of cumin seed and 1 big spoon of coriander seed powder. I have taken 6 chilies, slit them, they aren't very hot. Ginger garlic paste, 2 big spoons. Half a cup of chopped coriander, half we will save it for the later half. And I have taken half a cup of mint leaves or pudina. These are finely 0 size chopped 4 onions which I have browned them thoroughly. They are not deep fried, they are just stir fried. So I am adding all of that. Salt is for taste. I have taken 1 big spoon, you can take it as per your choice. And this is 700 grams of meat. For that I have taken 250 grams of curd. Along with that, I also have a tray of spices in which I have taken 6 cloves, 15 peppercorns, 2 black cardamoms or masala ilaichi, half star anise because half we are putting in rice also, and small stick of cinnamon. This all I will put into the oil, not into the meat right now. For now, we will mix all the ingredients into the meat. Please keep in mind I have not added tenderizer because the lamb is very tender. I will mix all this and keep it aside for 20 or 30 minutes. It's well marinated and we will set it aside for 20 minutes. Now in this case, as it is a super quick biryani, 20 minutes is enough. In other cases, you can keep it overnight. Step 2 is preparation of the rice. For rice, I have taken 3 years old aged basmati rice, washed it thoroughly, drained off all the excess water. This is 3 cups full of rice and this is 5 cups full of water. I have not taken 6, though I am going to cook it in the open. There is a reason for this. I have taken a very thick bottom kadai for heating and the flame is at the minimum. I have put about 1 spoon of oil. This oil is the one in which I had sauteed the onion. I have taken half star anise, 1 small stick of cinnamon, pepper and cloves, about 4. We are not going to use any store-bought biryani masala, so I am just adding the spices into the oil. Let them release its beautiful aroma. The spices are nicely frying, and in that what I will do is I will add in this oil 5 cups of water and allow it to boil. I will increase the flame of the gas. I will make it to the highest possible and I am adding a spoonful of salt to this water. There is no need to take excess water, just continue seeing so you will understand the trick for making the rice for the biryani. The water has come to a vigorous boil. At this point I am adding some cumin seeds which I forgot to add it in the first half, and I am also adding half a cup of milk. I told you that I have taken 5 cup of water for a reason. This milk in the rice will give an extra punch to the biryani. It will become extra flavorful and creamy. At this point, I am adding the rice into the solution of water and milk. So all the rice is added into the water. I just give it a quick stir. Allow it to reach a complete boil, a vigorous boil. You see that the milk and water has come to a boil. I am adding 1 spoonful of ghee at this moment. I'll give it a very quick stir, very carefully. It has come to a vigorous boil. I'll reduce the flame of the gas and cover it and keep it for exactly 15 minutes. Now for the ease of convenience, what I have taken is I am going to cook the meat or the mutton in the cooker. So I have taken about 2 spoons of oil. Now in this oil I am going to put all the whole spices. Allow them to crackle for 30 seconds and release the aromas. Now at this point I will add in all the marinated meat. I will stir in the meat in this oil for at least a good 7 to 8 minutes. I will increase the flame to medium here and allow this mutton to slow cook in all the spices for 7 to 8 minutes. The meat has come to a nice boil. Here at this moment I am going to add 50 ml of water. We don't want a lot of water, this should be enough. It is 6 to 7 minutes that the meat was slow cooking along with the curd and other spices. At this point I will minimize the flame of the gas and I will just put on the lid of the pressure cooker and allow it to cook for another 10 to 15 minutes or until one whistle in this case. But if your meat is matured, please give it 2 to 3 whistles, or you can ask your butcher or see the instructions on the packet. Now let us take a look at our rice here. Yeah, the water and milk is absorbed. I'll just close the lid and I will turn off the gas. I'll just keep this for another 10 minutes to steam up properly. While the meat is going to take its own time to slow cook on the inside the pressure cooker, what we will do is we will just take a look at the rice here. So you see this rice which is cooked in milk and water, how it is extremely grainy, and I had put 5 cups of water and about half or 3/4 cup of milk. Now look at this rice. It is so fluffy. It is still not completely cooked. It is about 85 to 95% cooked, and this is how we want it. This 85% cooked rice, I will just keep it open and allow the steam to go so that all the excess moisture which we do not desire, that will be gone off. You see the rice. One whistle is done and I will turn off the flame. One whistle and this meat, definitely it will be done. The meat is almost ready. One whistle is done, and at this point what I have done is I have taken the rice in 2 separate bowls and allowing it to pass off some steam. Now see, you just check the texture of the rice. It seems to be cooked, but it is 85% done. It is not completely done. So there is no need to add in a lot of water all the time and drain off excess water. What trick I have used here is I have used a little less water. Instead of taking 6 cups of water, I have taken 5 cups of water and added half a cup of milk. That gives this kind of rice if it is done exactly as the instructions I have told you. I had kept for the pressure cooker to release the pressure. This is fine, I suppose. Now let me just open and check. Let us check for the gravy. Yeah, the gravy is nice and fine as we wanted. And I will just check for the meat also, the doneness of the meat. Yeah, the meat is also done. Step 1, which was the making and marination of the mutton, is done. Step 2 of the rice is done. Now third step is the layering. For that I am going to layer it in this pressure cooker itself. Of course, I am not going to put the whistle on and any whistle or any pressure extra like that. I am just going to pull off 50% of the gravy into another bowl for layering. Now into this, which is the first layer of the meat, I am going to put 50% of the rice. This rice I am going to spread it uniformly on the meat. Now in this I am going to put fried onion. I had fried 1 large onion, sliced and fried. That is what I am going to put on this. Then I am going to put a little bit of mint leaves and I am going to put a little bit of coriander. Now first layer is done and I am going to put the remaining layer of meat. So remaining layer of meat, I will put it on the rice. I will spread this meat nicely over the layer of the rice. And now what I will do is, on this, I have the second half of rice, which I will just put onto the layer of the meat. Spread this rice nicely onto the meat. Now I will layer this with another layer of some mint leaves, some coriander leaves, some fried onion. Also I had soaked in some saffron strands into some lukewarm milk, which I am just pouring it all here. And this is some rose water. It is not rose essence, it is pure rose extract, so that I am putting it here. Now the pressure cooker along with all the layers of the beautiful meat and the rice. I've put it inside. The flame is at its lowest. Now we will just steam it for another 7 to 8 minutes. I'm just putting in some ghee. This is homemade clarified butter. I will just close the lid of the pressure cooker and allow it to be at a very slow flame for 10 minutes. We won't need a whistle to blow, but the whistle we need for the pressure to be developed. We'll turn off the gas with the timer in 10 minutes, not a minute more. The rice and the meat has been sitting into the pressure cooker for 10 minutes. It is exactly 10 minutes and I will turn off the flame. We will wait for another 10 minutes and then open the lid. It is 10 minutes that the flame was shut off. We will just try and open this pot of wholesome goodness. Look at this. And now we will serve this nice, flavorful, wonderful, delicate biryani. So we will just serve this. So our super quick, fast and easy biryani is ready. Good to make and good to eat. So hi guys, I'm back in the kitchen and now we will start preparation of the goat curry, for which I am directly cooking the meat in the pressure cooker, and I have taken oil. You can see here I have taken about 3 tablespoons of oil. I had already chopped the onion fine and I am using that onion in this mutton curry or gravy, whatever you will call it, and I will wait until the onion turns brown. So this is about 2 very large onions, but you will need at least like 300 grams of onion to 400 grams of onion for 1 kg of meat, and I am today making curry of 1 kg of meat. So this is the proportion that you can keep it in mind. So let this onion be brown now. Now you see here that the onion is started to brown, and along with the onion now I am going to add ginger garlic. My prep for ginger and garlic is ready. So for 1 kg of meat I am putting 2 heaped spoons of ginger and 2 heaped spoons of garlic. This is crush. Homemade, I like the crush. I don't like the paste. Now I will stir fry this until the raw smell of the ginger and garlic goes away. This will take maybe 2-3 minutes. Now in this paste of onion, ginger and garlic, I am going to add 1 kg of washed meat. I have already washed this meat and I will just add it because I want to fry the meat along with the onion, so that this meat which is there, it will also turn a little brown. Now I will stir fry this meat until it becomes a little brown and sauteed, so that it gives a nice flavor. So this is the meat and how it is looking right now, and I am going to stir fry it on a very low temperature for at least 10 more minutes. One difficult thing in the kitchen is the sweat and the fret and the fume. It's like really suffocating to cook so many times here, especially in Mumbai, because it is always very hot. What I will do is I'll just show you another preparation. Now here you see is the meat, and I have kept in a separate pot water to boil. Now this boiling water I'll be putting in the meat curry. Now at this point, when the meat is frying with the onion and ginger garlic, I'm adding enough of salt. For my taste, I'm adding 1.5 spoon of salt. You can take the salt addition to your taste. I'll quickly give it a stir, and then I'll be stirring this in between for another good 10 minutes so that the meat starts to get a little brown. But keep in mind that the flame should be really low. I'm keeping it at the minimum. Yeah, so this meat almost seems to be like done, nice and brown, though I will show you a close-up, but I really did not read any instructions on the packet. I need to ask my husband because he got it. How many whistles this is to be done? Just a minute. How many whistles for the mutton to be done?
2 whistles.
2 whistles with hot water?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I will show you the close-up for the meat. You can see here the texture of the meat and the color. It has become nice and brown, and the onion and the ginger garlic is started to leave the juices. Now into this I'll start adding the spices. I'm adding 2 spoons of turmeric powder, I'm adding some more salt. Remember that I had added some salt in the beginning also, so I'm adding half a spoon now. I'm gonna add this. This is mutton masala, and one of my husband's friend, he has given this as a sample. It is written here 800 rupees a kg probably, and this is mutton masala. So I'm going to try out this masala today. So let me open the packet. So I'm going to take this packet and I'm going to add this masala in a generous amount. Like you see, I've taken a tablespoon. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon and like a half tablespoon. And this masala, it seems, has everything. There's no need to add anything except turmeric, which I have already added. Now this is a paste of desiccated coconut and coriander, which I always keep it ready in my freezer. So I'm going to add about 2 to 3 spoons of this paste. You see, I'm adding a medium proportion, not a generous proportion, because I don't want a very thick gravy. I have no idea about the new masala which I have added, how much to add or what is the proportion to be taken. I have just added as per my understanding in cooking meat and all. And this should be a Malwani mutton masala, that is what I think, because his friend is from Ratnagiri and this masala he has given from the same place. So I think it may be a Konkani or a Malwani mutton masala. I'll just mix everything properly. Now in this I'm going to add hot water. This is 700 ml of water, but I will not add a lot. I'll just add until the meat is dipped. I think this is enough. You can see here that the meat, which is nicely browned, it is also dipping into this, and it has got a thin consistency at the moment like this. So now I will just allow it to come to a boil, and then I will put the lid for the pressure cooker and pressure cook until 2 whistles. So this meat has started to come to a boil. I will just cover it and I will put the gas on high flame for 1 whistle, and I will lower it down completely to the minimum flame for another whistle. In 2 whistles it will be done. Here I am making the dough for rice roti, and I have taken some rice flour, added some salt for taste, and I am adding hot water. Hot water in the sense we have to add boiling hot water. Try and mix as much as possible. Cover the dough for 10 minutes and then knead the dough very well, and then start rolling out the rotis. Actually it is done by hand. I really don't know how to do it, so I just do it with the rolling pin, and that's how my rotis, bhakris are done. 2 whistles are done and the pressure has released on its own. I'll just open the pressure cooker and check on the meat. So here you can see that the meat curry is ready. So my job for the lunch is done with this. The result of my hard work, rice rotis to go with the mutton curry, that too is ready. So my lunch is ready. Today we are going to make Mutton Mughlai. Do not make it sound complicated. It is a very simplified, easy recipe. I have made it specially because I'm a working woman. I'm always in a huff, always in a rush, but I love my meat. So this is an easy take on Mutton Mughlai with all the home available ingredients. All the spices are available in the home. We are not going to use any ready-made powders, nothing to get from outside. Let us start in a very simplified manner our Mutton Mughlai. So our rich gravy of Mutton Mughlai is ready to be served. We are making Mughlai mutton, so I have taken 800 grams of lamb. This is very tender lamb. Then we are going to fry this meat in whole spices. This is cinnamon stick, 10 to 12 pepper, cloves about 6 to 7, 2 masala elaichi or badi elaichi, and 1 star anise. Today I am making the Mutton Mughlai in pressure cooker. So I have just kept the pressure cooker for preheating, and I will be pouring about 1 spoon of oil at the moment. Now all the dry spices we will just put in the oil and wait for half a minute until the aromas release into the oil. You can see that the whole spices have nicely released the aromas. They are become fried and brown. In this we will add the meat. The flame is low at the moment, and we will stir this meat until it loses its pink color. So it will take about 5 to 7 minutes of stirring time. We will continue to stir the meat in oil for about 5 to 7 minutes until it is nicely stirred and browned in the oil. You see here that the mutton is frying in the masalas. It has released some water too. At this point, what we will do is we will add 2 big spoons of ginger garlic paste. This is store-bought ginger garlic paste. You can use crushed ginger or crushed garlic as per your choice. Just stir this all very well. The mutton is nicely cooking in the ginger garlic paste, and we will allow 2 to 3 minutes of cooking time now. While the meat is getting cooked in the ginger garlic paste, what we have taken here is, this is cumin seed powder, coriander seed powder, Kashmiri red chili for color and flavor, salt to taste. This is chili powder, which is really hot because this is not hot at all, and some turmeric. So all these ingredients I am going to mix dry ingredients into the curd and whisk the curd. This step I would like to do so that the curd doesn't split. There are a lot of spices into curd. So once we put the curd in the meat, the curd will not split. So mix this very well. This mixture of curd and spices is ready. For 800 grams of meat, I have taken exactly 300 grams of curd. And this is browned onions, which I always keep it ready in my kitchen. These are just chopped onions which are stir fried, so it saves the cooking time. If you don't have the brown onions, you can brown the onions before you are browning the meat. Now we will add this curd mixed with spices into the meat and mix it thoroughly well. I'll just give it a nice mix and allow the mutton or the meat to cook in the curd for about 10 minutes from now. So let the meat simmer on a very slow flame in the curd and the spices for a good 7 to 8 minutes. See here that the meat is started to boil along with the curd, and we will allow another 5 minutes. It is 3 minutes done by now. 5 minutes that the meat has been cooking in the curd paste. There is no need to add excess of oil or ghee at the moment, because once the recipe is done, the meat will leave a lot of oil. Now I am adding the browns onion. These are 6 onions. You can use fried onions also, but anyway the texture becomes very soggy, so I am using brown stir fried onions. Mix the onions very well into the gravy. If you want, what you can do is you can also run the onions into a mixie, but these onions are so nicely browned, they will get dissolved into the gravy. Our ingredients are added into the meat. Now I will just take about 50 ml of water. This is warm water, and I will pour it on the gravy. I have increased the flame so that the meat comes to a boil along with the spices, and then we will cover the lid and pressure cook for 1 whistle. This lamb is very tender, so 1 whistle is enough. But if you have a mature goat, then you need to do 2 or 3 whistles or even 4. At this point, I will lower the flame. The meat has come to a nice boil. I will cover the lid of the pressure cooker. Close it, and now let it sit here for 10 minutes or until 1 whistle. It's 12 minutes that the mutton was in the cooker. Now it is 1 whistle done because the lamb was very tender. I will just check. If the pressure is completely released, I'll take the cooker down. Let us just open and check it. Yeah, so this is how the lamb has gotten to be. I told you that there is no need to add additional oil. See, it has left so much of oil. Now we will just check if the meat is cooked. Yes, did you see the meat is so tender? It is cooked in 1 whistle. We will plate this mutton mughlai.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, ये हम बनाएंगे मटन लीवर करी, जिसके लिए कढ़ाई में मैंने डाला है तेल और उसमें डाल रही हूँ बॉइल्ड लीवर, जिसका सूप मैंने अलग से रख दिया है करी बनाने के लिए। और उसमें डालेंगे हम जिंजर गार्लिक यानी कि अदरक लहसुन का पेस्ट। अच्छे से इसको भुना करके फ्राई करके सौते करके 2 मिनट के लिए ढक के रख देंगे। फिर उसमें डालेंगे हम थोड़ी सी हल्दी, स्वाद अनुसार नमक। इसमें मैंने डाला है लाल मिर्च कलर के लिए, और मेरे घर का बना हुआ मटन मसाला। आप कोई भी रेडीमेड मटन मसाला या मीट मसाला डाल सकते हो। उसके बाद डाली है मैंने भुने हुए प्याज की पेस्ट, और उसके बाद डाला है मैंने धनिया और कोकोनट का पेस्ट यानी कि नारियल का पेस्ट, सूखा नारियल, गिरा नारियल, आप कुछ भी ले सकते हो। और फिर मैंने इसमें डाला है सूप, जो मटन लीवर बनाते वक्त हम लोगों ने बाजू में निकाल के रखा था। अब इसको अच्छे से बॉईल होने दो और ये बन के रेडी हो गई है मटन लीवर करी। इसको हम फाइनली एक गार्निश दे देंगे कोरिएंडर लीव्स के साथ, धनिए के पत्ते के साथ। मटन मालवनी सूखा बनाने के लिए लीजिए एक कढ़ाई और डालिए थोड़ा सा तेल। तेल गर्म होने के बाद उसमें डालिए बॉइल्ड मीट, मतलब उबला हुआ मटन, जिसका सूप आप अलग से रख देंगे। उसमें डालिए आधा चम्मच जिंजर गार्लिक पेस्ट या अदरक लहसुन का पेस्ट। फिर उसमें डलेगा नमक, आधा चम्मच हल्दी, 1 चम्मच कश्मीरी लाल मिर्च पाउडर कलर के लिए, और 1 पूरा चम्मच भर के मालवनी मसाला, जो कहीं पे भी मिल जाएगा। इसको अच्छे से स्टर फ्राई कर लीजिए कि थोड़ा सा मटन ब्राउन हो जाए। उसमें डालिए गोल्डन डीप फ्राइड अनियन का पेस्ट, जो मेरे पास पहले से बना हुआ है, सूखे नारियल का पेस्ट, और उसमें थोड़ा मैंने धनिया पत्ता भी डाला है स्वाद के लिए। इसको अच्छे से मिक्स करने के बाद उसमें डालिए सूप, जो हम लोगों ने निकाल के रखा था मटन बॉईल करते वक्त। और अभी मटन मालवनी सूखा मसाला ऑलमोस्ट रेडी है। आई एम जस्ट गार्निशिंग इट विद सम बिट ऑफ कोरिएंडर एंड योर डिश इज रेडी। हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज हम बनाएंगे मटन लीवर सूप, जिसके लिए मैंने कुकर में लिया है थोड़ा सा तेल और हम डालेंगे जावित्री, काली मिर्च, 2-3 लौंग, 1 बड़ी इलायची, और इसके साथ डालेंगे 2 तेज पत्ता। इसके साथ डालेंगे थोड़ी सी दालचीनी का पाउडर, जिंजर गार्लिक पेस्ट ऑलमोस्ट आधा चमचा, जिसको हम अच्छे से फ्राई कर लेंगे। अब इसमें डालेंगे अच्छे से धुला हुआ मटन लीवर। इसको ब्राउन होने तक हम सौते करेंगे और उसमें जाएगा स्वाद के लिए नमक, हल्दी, और इसको जब अच्छे से भुन जाए इसमें डालते हैं हम कम से कम 1 से 1.5 चम्मच भुने हुए प्याज का पेस्ट। इसको अच्छे से मिला लीजिए और इसमें डालिए कम से कम 900 ml या 750 ml वाटर, और इसको खूब अच्छे से उबाल आने दीजिए। उबाल आने के बाद कुकर की 2 सीटियां लगाइए और फिर ठंडा होने के रख लीजिए अराउंड 30 मिनट्स, आधे घंटे के बाद आपका मस्त हेल्दी डिलीशियस मटन लीवर सूप तैयार है।
Yakni Mutton Pulao. This recipe originates from Persia and it has come to us from the Mughals. This is a very delicate recipe which involves the broth of meat or mutton, which is cooked with all the aromatic spices, building all the wonderful flavors together. Let us start making the Yakni Mutton Pulao into our kitchens today. We are making a mutton or a lamb yakni pulao. For that I have taken about 2 big spoons of oil. The first thing is, into that we add our whole spices: cloves, black cardamom, cinnamon, star anise, cumin 1 spoon, and black pepper about 15. The whole spices have nicely released in the flavor. At this point, what we will add is a big spoon of ginger. This is crushed ginger, and also we will add crushed garlic. We will saute it until and unless the raw flavor of ginger and garlic disappears. Now at this point I am adding 1 big spoon of browned onion. These are onions which I had sauteed earlier. They aren't deep fried onions. If you do not have, before starting the recipe you can just make brown onions. Just toss them in oil and allow them to be thoroughly brown. The smell of ginger, garlic, spices and onion, it is smelling awesome. While this is frying, I am adding 4 slit green chilies. Let the chilies also cook into this mixture. We are not going to add chili powder. This is an easy yakni pulao, so we are not going to add chili powder in this. The flavoring will be from a variety of agents like green chili, dried red chili, black pepper, etc. Next I am adding 5 or 6 pieces of dried red chilies. I've just cut them into 1-inch size pieces, and I will also add this into this mixture. Now into this mixture I'm adding meat. This meat is 350 grams. This is a very tender lamb. pink color of the meat has disappeared. Now the meat is stir frying nicely. Here at this point I am adding 1 small spoon of turmeric. Also here I am adding half a spoon of pepper powder. I am adding 1 spoon of salt. Salt is to your taste. Give it a quick stir. Increase the flame. And now at this point I am adding 1 bowl of water. This is about 250 ml of water, but I'll be adding more. At the moment, let us put 250 ml of water. This water has nicely come to a boil. I'm adding another 250 ml of water here because the rice we will cook in the same yakni or the akhni, however you call it. And into this, at this point, I'm also adding saffron water. Now this is optional, but it gives a very nice flavor, so I like to add. Let us give a nice stir to this and allow it to boil. Now since this lamb is extremely tender, I am not pressure cooking the lamb and the rice separately. I will cook it together. But if you have a matured goat, then you need to pressure cook the meat prior to adding the rice. Now this mutton soup or mutton akhni, it has to boil for at least 20 to 25 minutes. So at this point, I am lowering the flame. And what I will do is, I will cover this. I am just covering this and I am not locking in the pressure cooker. Now we will allow the meat to release its beautiful flavor and aroma into the soup for at least 25 good minutes. It is 25 minutes that the meat is boiling and making a nice decoction. We will just open and check. I'll just check for the doneness of meat. This meat is about 50% done and 50% it will be done along with the rice. So for the next step, what I have taken is I have taken 2.5 cups of rice. This is basmati rice. I have washed it and drained off the excess of water, and this I soaked it for 30 minutes. This rice I am adding into this beautiful flavorful decoction of meat. We will give this a nice stir and let it come to a boil. We will just allow a minute or two of boiling time and then we will quickly close the pressure cooker. Before that, I will add the salt. This is the salt for the rice. So I am adding 1 small spoon of salt and I am adding a cupful of curd. This curd, I have beaten this curd. So this curd I am adding into the rice and we will give it a nice mix. Allow it to boil for a minute and then we will close the lid of the pressure cooker. Now you see here that this nice akhni or decoction or mutton soup is come to a nice boil. I will just reduce the flame, keep it on slow flame. You see that the water is just enough so that the rice completely dips into the it, or this soup has just covered the water. So this is perfect. Now what we will do is we will secure the lid of the pressure cooker and we will wait until 1 whistle. Rice and meat both will be done. But please remember, if your meat is a matured goat, you will have to pre-cook the meat in 2 or 3 whistles. 1 whistle is done. I will turn off the flame. Now let the pressure cooker settle in until the pressure releases on its own. It will take about 15 minutes and let us open the pressure cooker after 15 minutes. The pressure seems to have released. What I will do is I'll just open and check. We will just open the lid of the pressure cooker. Yes, you see the rice is so nicely done. We'll just allow the steam to escape for 2-3 minutes and then we will serve. Before serving, let us just check if the meat is done. I'll just pull out a piece of meat. Yes, it is nice and done. We will serve this scrumptious, delicate biryani now. Biryani or yakhni pulao, mutton pulao, whatever you would like to call it. See, the grain is so nicely risen. It has so well cooked. Our very delicate yakni pulao, mutton pulao, easy yakni pulao is ready. You can relish it on your diet. Today we are going to make a super quick mutton biryani. Yes, you heard it right, a super quick mutton biryani. I have simplified the recipe to my level best to make it into 3 components. First is the marination of the meat. Second is making the rice in which you don't have to drain off the excess water. And third is layering the biryanis. This is an under 90-minute recipe and I trust you when you try it, you'll tell me in the comment section below that you have loved it. Let us start with the making of a simplified mutton biryani. So our super fast biryani is ready, which I will just garnish it with a little bit of mint leaves and some coriander leaves, and we will keep. For making a super fast mutton biryani, we will start with step 1, which is marinating the meat. Now in my case, the lamb is very tender. It will cook in just 1 whistle, so I am not using a tenderizer. But if you have a meat which is matured, do use raw papaya as a tenderizer. In my case here, I am skipping the tenderizer process and straight away heading to the marination. So for the marination, first what I have taken is a teaspoon of turmeric and a tablespoon of red chili powder. Red chili powder is to your taste. 1 big spoon of cumin seed and 1 big spoon of coriander seed powder. I have taken 6 chilies, slit them, they aren't very hot. Ginger garlic paste, 2 big spoons. Half a cup of chopped coriander, half we will save it for the later half. And I have taken half a cup of mint leaves or pudina. These are finely 0 size chopped 4 onions which I have browned them thoroughly. They are not deep fried, they are just stir fried. So I am adding all of that. Salt is for taste. I have taken 1 big spoon, you can take it as per your choice. And this is 700 grams of meat. For that I have taken 250 grams of curd. Along with that, I also have a tray of spices in which I have taken 6 cloves, 15 peppercorns, 2 black cardamoms or masala ilaichi, half star anise because half we are putting in rice also, and small stick of cinnamon. This all I will put into the oil, not into the meat right now. For now, we will mix all the ingredients into the meat. Please keep in mind I have not added tenderizer because the lamb is very tender. I will mix all this and keep it aside for 20 or 30 minutes. It's well marinated and we will set it aside for 20 minutes. Now in this case, as it is a super quick biryani, 20 minutes is enough. In other cases, you can keep it overnight. Step 2 is preparation of the rice. For rice, I have taken 3 years old aged basmati rice, washed it thoroughly, drained off all the excess water. This is 3 cups full of rice and this is 5 cups full of water. I have not taken 6, though I am going to cook it in the open. There is a reason for this. I have taken a very thick bottom kadai for heating and the flame is at the minimum. I have put about 1 spoon of oil. This oil is the one in which I had sauteed the onion. I have taken half star anise, 1 small stick of cinnamon, pepper and cloves about 4. We are not going to use any store-bought biryani masala, so I am just adding the spices into the oil. Let them release its beautiful aroma. The spices are nicely frying and in that what I will do is, I will add in this oil 5 cups of water and allow it to boil. I will increase the flame of the gas. I will make it to the highest possible and I am adding a spoonful of salt to this water. There is no need to take excess water, just continue seeing so you will understand the trick for making the rice for the biryani. The water has come to a vigorous boil. At this point I am adding some cumin seeds which I forgot to add it in the first half, and I am also adding half a cup of milk. I told you that I have taken 5 cup of water for a reason. This milk in the rice will give an extra punch to the biryani. It will become extra flavorful and creamy. At this point, I am adding the rice into the solution of water and milk. So all the rice is added into the water. I just give it a quick stir. Allow it to reach a complete boil, a vigorous boil. You see that the milk and water has come to a boil. I am adding 1 spoonful of ghee at this moment. I'll give it a very quick stir, very carefully. It has come to a vigorous boil. I'll reduce the flame of the gas and cover it and keep it for exactly 15 minutes. Now for the ease of convenience, what I have taken is I am going to cook the meat or the mutton in the cooker. So I have taken about 2 spoons of oil. Now in this oil I am going to put all the whole spices. Allow them to crackle for 30 seconds and release the aromas. Now at this point I will add in all the marinated meat. I will stir in the meat in this oil for at least a good 7 to 8 minutes. I will increase the flame to medium here and allow this mutton to slow cook in all the spices for 7 to 8 minutes. The meat has come to a nice boil. Here at this moment I am going to add 50 ml of water. We don't want a lot of water, this should be enough. It is 6 to 7 minutes that the meat was slow cooking along with the curd and other spices. At this point I will minimize the flame of the gas and I will just put on the lid of the pressure cooker and allow it to cook for another 10 to 15 minutes or until one whistle in this case. But if your meat is matured, please give it 2 to 3 whistles, or you can ask your butcher or see the instructions on the packet. Now let us take a look at our rice here. Yeah, the water and milk is absorbed. I'll just close the lid and I will turn off the gas. I'll just keep this for another 10 minutes to steam up properly. While the meat is gonna take its own time to slow cook on the inside the pressure cooker, what we will do is we will just take a look at the rice here. So you see this rice which is cooked in milk and water, how it is extremely grainy, and I had put 5 cups of water and about half or 3/4 cup of milk. Now look at this rice. It is so fluffy. It is still not completely cooked. It is about 85 to 95% cooked, and this is how we want it. This 85% cooked rice, I will just keep it open and allow the steam to go so that all the excess moisture which we do not desire, that will be gone off. You see the rice. One whistle is done and I will turn off the flame. One whistle and this meat, definitely it will be done. The meat is almost ready. One whistle is done, and at this point what I have done is I have taken the rice in 2 separate bowls and allowing it to pass off some steam. Now see, you just check the texture of the rice. It seems to be cooked, but it is 85% done. It is not completely done. So there is no need to add in a lot of water all the time and drain off excess water. What trick I have used here is I have used a little less water. Instead of taking 6 cups of water, I have taken 5 cups of water and added half a cup of milk. That gives this kind of rice if it is done exactly as the instructions I have told you. I had kept for the pressure cooker to release the pressure. This is fine, I suppose. Now let me just open and check. Let us check for the gravy. Yeah, the gravy is nice and fine as we wanted. And I will just check for the meat also, the doneness of the meat. Yeah, the meat is also done. Step 1, which was the making and marination of the mutton, is done. Step 2 of the rice is done. Now third step is the layering. For that I am going to layer it in this pressure cooker itself. Of course, I am not going to put the whistle on and any whistle or any pressure extra like that. I am just going to pull off 50% of the gravy into another bowl for layering. Now into this, which is the first layer of the meat, I am going to put 50% of the rice. This rice I am going to spread it uniformly on the meat. Now in this I am going to put fried onion. I had fried 1 large onion, sliced and fried. That is what I am going to put on this. Then I am going to put a little bit of mint leaves and I am going to put a little bit of coriander. Now first layer is done and I am going to put the remaining layer of meat. So remaining layer of meat, I will put it on the rice. I will spread this meat nicely over the layer of the rice. And now what I will do is, on this, I have the second half of rice, which I will just put onto the layer of the meat. Spread this rice nicely onto the meat. Now I will layer this with another layer of some mint leaves, some coriander leaves, some fried onion. Also I had soaked in some saffron strands into some lukewarm milk, which I am just pouring it all here. And this is some rose water. It is not rose essence, it is pure rose extract, so that I am putting it here. Now the pressure cooker, along with all the layers of the beautiful meat and the rice, I have put it inside. The flame is at its lowest. Now we will just steam it for another 7 to 8 minutes. I am just putting in some ghee. This is homemade clarified butter. I will just close the lid of the pressure cooker and allow it to be at a very slow flame for 10 minutes. We won't need a whistle to blow, but the whistle we need for the pressure to be developed. We'll turn off the gas with the timer in 10 minutes, not a minute more. The rice and the meat has been sitting into the pressure cooker for 10 minutes. It is exactly 10 minutes and I will turn off the flame. We will wait for another 10 minutes and then open the lid. It is 10 minutes that the flame was shut off. We will just try and open this pot of wholesome goodness. Look at this. And now we will serve this nice, flavorful, wonderful, delicate biryani. So we will just serve this. So our super quick, fast and easy biryani is ready. And let us make some fish today. How about pan fried pomfret? Crispy and nice with minimum oil. Let's start it without any further ado. For the marinade, I have taken a large bowl because we will marinate the pomfret in this bowl itself. For the marinade, what I have taken is I have taken coriander, pudina or mint and some green chilies. Green chilies as per your taste. I have taken 2 green chilies and that we will put in here. So this is the base, the green base of the stuffing. Into this we can put juice of half a lemon, or that is as per your taste. See that the seeds do not enter the marinade. We will extract them out. Also we will put in the salt. Salt is to your taste. I am just putting a little more than half a spoon of salt. I have just taken small pinch of black pepper that I will be putting inside the marinade. Spoon of turmeric and 1 spoon of ginger garlic paste. So in go all the ingredients. You see that this paste is a little watery. So to balance the texture of this marinade, we will use one trick. Also, I'll be taking some more marinade at this point because there are 2 pieces of fish. That's it. You can just take a handful of coriander, handful of mint and 2 or 3 green chilies as per your taste for the hotness you want in the fish. What we will be doing is, I have taken 1 small spoon of rice flour. This rice flour we will add inside the marinade and everything will be mixed all together. This forms the base of our green stuffing. Start filling the green masala into the pomfret. Now for the marination, my son has taken over. So we will quickly start marinating. Fill in the gashes properly, cover the entire fish with the green masala, and then afterwards we will also put in all the masala into the pocket. Yeah, this pocket, so just we will put in all the masala into the pocket. So you can see the masala has got into the pocket, it has got into the gashes. It has got into the gashes and it is all over the pomfret. So we'll keep this piece aside and similarly we will do the next piece. Take the second piece, fill in the masala into the gashes and then spread it all over the fish, and finally we will fill it into the pocket too. So in the similar manner we are coating the fish. What happens when we are using the coriander, mint and green chili into the mixie, we need some water. This loosens up the consistency of the marinade. So to balance that consistency, we are using some rice flour. Rice flour also we will be using when we are putting the fish on the pan. Fish is well marinated. Now you can keep it for the marination in the refrigerator, or the fish is now coated well with the masala and we will allow the marinade to sit into the fish for about 15 minutes. The fish has nicely been sitting in the marinade for about 15 minutes. Now what I will do, I have taken some rice flour. I will sprinkle a little rice flour on the top surface on the fish so that the masala gets coated and it acts like a binding agent, so the masala doesn't get stick onto the pan once we start cooking the fish. Coated the rice powder in one direction. Now what we will do is, we will flip it and coat it in the other side also. similar manner so that a nice coating is developed. That's it, you don't have to be very precise, just so that the marinade doesn't fall off. Kept a pan for preheating, into which initially I will put 1 spoon of oil. That should be enough at the moment. Just allow the oil to heat a minute and increase the temperature and swirl in the pan with the oil, so that oil is coated in every way, every direction of the pan, every side of the pan. And then now we'll just take one fish and we will lay it on the pan. Dust off the excess rice flour and just put it on the pan. Let it be here for about 30 seconds. After that we will check the gas is on the middle. It is 30 seconds and the fish has been there on the pan on slow flame. We will just see what is the position on the other. Yes, it is turning brown. So we will allow it on a slow flame to cook for another 30 minutes. Do not cover the pan. It will take its own time. In another 5 minutes this will be completely done. Let us now check the fish from the other side. It should probably be done by this time. Yes, it is nice and brown. We'll keep it on the other side for 30 seconds. Meanwhile, we'll make some space here, and what I will do is, I will just take the another piece of fish, this other piece of fish, and I will put it here on the pan. I'll place it on the pan. So there goes the second piece too. I'll just pour in some oil in the second direction so that this piece of fish get some oil to brown up nicely. By that time we will already have removed this. Now the first piece of fish which we had kept for frying, it is done. So now we will remove it. Remove it and place it on a wire rack so that it cools evenly. Underneath there is a plate, so if there is any oil or masalas dripping, it will be collected onto the plate. The second piece of the fish is there on the pan from the past 40 seconds. I will just flip it and look at its position. Yes, it is also getting to done. Let us allow 1 minute time so that it cooks properly. This piece of fish is also done now. What we will do is, I'll just turn off the gas, remove this piece of fish too, and this also I will put on the wire rack. Now why I put it on the wire rack? Do you see that the oil is dripping here? See this. Now if you put this fish directly into the plate, that oil has some water too, which will make the fish soggy. So always try and keep it on a wire rack for about a minute or so and then serve it. Now we will serve our fish. This fish is ready to be plated now. We will plate the fish. So the fish is nicely done, it is beautifully brown, it is smelling divine, and it is just the time for me to dig in now. I hope you have liked. Spending endless hours in the kitchen cooking delicious food is really not possible for all the women every time, especially for working women, and I am one too. So let's see my take on easy egg masala recipe, which is easy but yet very, very special. So let's make egg masala my style, my way. Today I am making very special but very simple egg curry. For that, as you see, I have taken 7 eggs. These are hard boiled eggs and I have put a cut like this into each of the egg. I will just show you one. For example, it is just a gash that you make it in this shape so that whatever spices we put in, they get absorbed very nicely into the eggs. Before taking a look at the other ingredients, I have already taken the eggs in the pan. As you see, I will keep this pan of eggs on the gas. As you see, I have kept the eggs on the gas. I will just pour in 1 spoon of oil, 1 small spoon of oil. I just want to roast the eggs before I start with the recipe. So let this be here just for a minute or two. Let this become brown just a little bit. We are not supposed to fry them, just brown them. You can see now the eggs are nicely browned. At this point, I just add a very small amount of turmeric, some chili powder and some salt, just so as to give some taste to the boiled eggs. These are hard boiled eggs. I have taken 7 of them. So we will just coat the eggs. I'll turn off the gas, otherwise the spices will burn. So we will just stir fry the eggs until all the eggs get a uniform color. The eggs are coated evenly with the masala and we keep them aside and move towards the ingredient list. Now coming back to the ingredient list, we have a good nice collection of Indian spices. Starts with turmeric, homemade cumin seed powder, coriander seed powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, salt to taste and garam masala. This is homemade garam masala. You can use any brand, any ready-made masala of your choice. This is coconut, dry coconut roasted mixed with coriander, some coriander, and I have also mixed some ginger and garlic in this. So this is a mixture of ginger, garlic, coriander and dry coconut. And this is my usual pre-sauteed onions which are always ready in my kitchen. Then what we have is one green chili. This is a dark green chili. It is a little hot, I think so. I have also put a slit into it. Some coriander for garnish, 1 cup of curd and a small amount, 1 small spoon of rice flour. Into this rice flour I have added some water and will make a slurry kind of a thing now. We will just make a paste of rice water and this we will add to the curry so that the curd doesn't split. I have put in a kadai for preheating into which I am adding about 1 spoon of oil. Yes, this should be enough. Next is I am following it up with 1 slit green chili and the pre-saute onions. If you are using raw onions, you can brown it at this stage itself. It will splutter a lot now, so I will cover this at this point. The onions are already brown, it won't take much time now. The onions are already cooked and so is the chili. So after a minute I am just adding the dried coconut paste along with coriander leaves and ginger garlic. So this is a paste of these 4 ingredients I am putting inside. No need to roast this because most of the ingredients are already cooked and ginger garlic will be cooked along. The coconut, onions, coriander leaves, ginger garlic, chili, everything is getting fried and at this point I will add all the dry spices including the salt. So this all goes in. Mix it well. Mix it really well and into this we will add our next ingredient, that is the rice flour and water. This I want to add at this point because I am going to add the curd now. I don't want the curd to split. So in goes 1 cup of curd. This is a regular curd. You can use homemade curd. I am also using homemade curd here. And let the curd cook in for some time with constant stirring. So stir this very well until this comes to a boil. The oil has started to release and the mixture has started to bubble. I will give it a stir and cook it for another 30 seconds or so. Leave it open, it is not spluttering, so it is okay. After 30 seconds, the aromas have started to release beautifully and into this I will add the eggs. Coat the eggs very well with the masalas and now I will add 200 ml of lukewarm water. Water you can add as per to the consistency that you are looking for. Today I am making this curry with rice, so I am keeping the consistency a little thin, but you can add the water as per your requirement for the consistency. Now let this come to a boil. I will just put the flame on high. Allow this to come to a boil. The curry has started to develop a vigorous boil. At this point I will turn down the gas to the minimum and I will cover it and keep it for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes that the curry has been boiling, I think it is already done. Yes, it is done. At this point I will turn off the gas. I will just check for the consistency. This is the consistency which is achieved, but as it cools down it will start to thicken a little. So at this moment I will just turn off the gas and this is done. Now we will do the plating. Steaming hot simple egg curry is ready. I will just garnish it with a little bit of coriander leaves. As you see, this is not a lengthy process. It is a very easy but special egg curry. You can serve it with rice, you can serve it with roti paratha, it can be made for lunch or dinner, that's your choice. It can also very well go into your tiffin. And my Sunday is mostly with non-vegetarian food, and I will show you my spread for the day. As you can see here, look at this, this is my spread for the day. I have a pomfret, and then I have some prawns, and then I have some mackerel, which is Bombida, which is already pre-marinated. I had 6 pieces of these and we have already finished 4. So these are left over 2, and the mackerel was already pre-marinated. I already marinated this. But the marination for the prawn and the pomfret I am going to quickly show you. So into the prawn I had already added some vinegar because I was scared it will get stale by the time I start cooking. Lazy Sunday today. I have added some turmeric, half a spoon. This is 500 kgs of big size prawn. Half a spoon of garam masala and 1 spoon of red chili powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, and salt is to your taste. So the marination is done. I'll just mix it and keep it. Pomfret in this container in which the fish came, actually I have already put 2 spoons of vinegar. So I am putting the fish here, laying the fish here. Now I'll show you the marination for this. Now for the pomfret, I am just going to marinate it in some vinegar for 2-3 minutes. I'll set this aside, and what I am taking here, I will just show you. Ginger garlic paste, about a spoon or so. You can take as per your choice how much you want. You can see here, this is fish fry masala. It is written machi fry. This is gifted to us by one of my husband's friend. He stays in Ratnagiri. So I'm putting in that. I think this is a little too much. 1 spoon is enough. I'm adding some salt to taste. Turmeric, half a spoon. This vinegar which is there, I'm going to pour it in this and let the fish sit here. I'll just mix everything quickly and rub it onto the pomfret. So now this is a mid-size pomfret. This pomfret is about 350 to 400 grams. And now I will just slather the marinade everywhere on the fish. And also what I have done is I have also got a slit done here. So I'm going to put this masala into the slit too, so that it becomes very flavorful. So pomfret is all set and ready to go in the fridge. I will allow marination time for about 20 minutes. Fish doesn't require a lot of marination time. This is enough. Actually, I was thinking of making the prawn curry first, but what happened, I forgot to add the ginger garlic paste. So I have just added ginger garlic paste, store-bought paste. I don't like the chunks, which I use usually, because those give a texture. Now I don't want a texture in this, and the curry is also going to be simple, and I'll share the recipe with you. We will start with the Bombida preparation first, the mackerel preparation. I've already marinated it, but definitely in some of the other video I'll show you the marination for this. Now I'm just picking up this. This is in green masala, a very very peculiar masala, and then I'm just taking this, coat it with rice flour, but see to it that there is no excessive of rice flour. If there is excessive, then it is just going to be like crispy and the taste of the fish is going to disappear. So coat it nicely, and then I'm going to put it in the fan I have not even switched on. You know why? Because of you guys. It's so hot here, but if I switch on the fan, then the sound becomes terrible. So I'm working off fan. Now I'm planning to buy a bladeless fan. Okay, so this is done. Dust off excess, lay it on the pan. I've already put oil in the pan. Piece also I have coated with rice flour, dusting it off, and I will lay it on the pan. Now I'll just show you the close-up for the food, so you can see how the food is frying. The fish is frying, and fish and me, we are best friends. So this is the mackerel which is frying here. I'm going to lay the pomfret here, for which I'm going to turn on the flame, and this is for the prawn curry which will go next. So another pan is already up for heating, and I have coated this pomfret too in the rice flour. I'm going to dust it off extra. There is already some oil. Always remember, preheat the pan, put in some oil. Preferably use a non-stick or a ceramic coated or a Teflon coated pan, and try to see that the flame is low to low medium. So I'm just increasing the flame for a minute, and this won't take more than 6 to 7 minutes to cook. But Bombida will take some time to cook. The mackerel will take some time. So this is the sound of sizzling fish fry in my kitchen. This is the pomfret. It has to be golden, so keep it at a low to low medium flame. And this is how the mackerel should turn out on a low to low medium flame. It should turn out very crispy. And this is the water which I have kept for boiling, and this is for the prawn curry. So on my food station now I have 3 things going: prawn curry, pomfret, mackerel, and I'm going to start making the curry. You know, I can make everything simultaneously. I'm an expert at seafood. Actually, nobody calls me, but I call it on my own. There's no harm in calling, right? So let's start. So you are watching a video of an expert, seafood expert.
Is everything ready?
Everything? No, 3 things you got. Of course, it's going to take some time. Why?
It's so aromatic.
You're feeling hungry?
Yeah, it's difficult to stop.
Okay, wait. Maybe 25 minutes. That's
Just okay, can wait for 15 minutes.
Or you were giving me a target or what now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there is no target case cooking here. You go, you continue your job. I'll call you once it is ready. How do I put up the targets here? I mean, says I have got targets in office, I have got targets of home. I don't leave on target. Show you when I was putting prawn, because my husband came inside and he's putting me on a target, everything is ready. So just fry it for 2-3 minutes until they get curled. Now I'm going to turn off the flame and I'm going to remove the prawn. And this water we are going to use it in the prawn curry. Now I will start with the prawn curry. For that, first I have taken oil. I've taken the same kadai. I've just pulled over the prawn in separate plate. This is a paste of coconut, dry coconut and coriander. Nothing else is there. And in goes ginger garlic paste. Just fry it for 2 minutes. So slightly stir fried the masala, that is the coconut and coriander. I always keep it ready. Now see, this is what masala? Fish curry masala. You know, this is fish curry masala. The same friend of his had given, like my husband's friend. I don't know whether he's starting business or something. So I'm just putting it approximately to be 2 spoons. And half a spoon of turmeric for the curry. Chili powder for color. That's it. You can add any fish masala you have. If you don't have, then just add red chili powder and garam masala. Or so many people make masala for the whole year. You can add that also. You can add kala masala. It's absolutely your choice. So this masala is ready, and in goes the prawns now. So prawns is inside, and once the prawns is inside, now you will cook only for 2 minutes. If you cook more than that, the prawns are gonna get very, very chewy. That's the reason I had preheated the water. Adding some water from the same bowl. It's that hot water which I had made. Allow it to boil for just a minute or minute and a half and turn off the flame. And check the salt to your seasoning. Come on guys, lunch is served and ready. Today we are going to make a very famous fish in Mumbai, lovingly called as Bombay, and it is called as Bombida in English. It is a very fragile fish and requires some precautions while making the curry or the fry. So today we will see a very flavorful and tasty Bombida fish curry. Scrumptious, delicious, delicate Bombay curry or Bombida curry is ready to go on your dining table. We are making Bombay duck curry. So this is how Bombay duck looks like. It is a very dainty, fragile and a delicate fish. So first we will marinate this fish. The marination I am using half a spoon of turmeric and some salt. Now I will mix everything together. Just a light stir and handle the fish very, very carefully. So this is done. Fish we will set aside for 10 minutes. So to begin with the cooking process, first things first, I have preheated a kadhai and now I am putting in 1 large spoon of oil. Now keep in mind that the fish which I have taken is 300 grams of fish. I'll allow the oil to heat a little. Into this, what will go in normal cases is freshly chopped onion, 0 size. I already have stir fried onion. I keep it in my freezer regularly. So I'm using that. If you're using fresh onion, just see to it you brown it very well. As the onions are already brown, here I am adding 1 spoonful of ginger garlic paste. This is store-bought ginger garlic paste and I will fry it until the rawness of the ginger garlic disappears. Onions are already nicely brown. Ginger garlic paste is also cooked. Now I am adding a paste of fresh coconut and coriander. to fry the coconut a lot. Just stir fry. We need the freshness of the coconut to be intact in this curry. Into this mix of the gravy or curry, I'm adding 1 small spoon of turmeric. This is followed by 1 big spoon of onion garlic powder, or you can use any premix of mixed masala or kolhapuri masala or anything that you have handy in your kitchen. 1 big spoon of Kashmiri red chili powder for color and flavor. Salt to taste, I'm adding 1 small spoon of salt. 1 spoon of tamarind paste. You can use lemon or you can use fresh tamarind if you want. Now mix everything thoroughly well. So because I have used onion garlic masala here or kanda lasun masala, usually called in Marathi, I haven't used garam masala. But if you want, you can add garam masala and red chili powder. That combination goes fine too. You can see that the masalas are very well coated in oil. It's nicely fried and it is smelling so divine. Into this, I am going to add 1 bowl of hot water. Let this all come to a nice boil. It will take about 2 minutes. You can see here, this water has come to a boil. The curry mix has come to a boil. Into this now I am adding 1 spoon of rice flour and 3 spoons of water. So a slurry of this, I will just stir it well and I will add it. This is for the thickening of the curry. I will increase the flame again, give it a mix and allow it to come to a boil. This mix is boiling vigorously. I will just reduce the flame here. Now at this point, I will add in all the fish very slowly. Keep in mind that only once the gravy mix comes to a boil, we will be adding the fish. The fish is extremely delicate, extremely fragile. Do not stir it. It will become a jelly-like when it is cooking. Now you see that the fish is firm, but it is extremely delicate. Allow it to cook on a slow flame for 5 minutes. At this point, I will also cover the vessel. The flame is still on low, let it be on low, and after 5 minutes we will turn off the gas. It is 5 minutes that the curry was boiling. We will just open and check it. Now just take a look at the fish, it has become opaque. So that is the sign it has cooked. We do not want to boil it any further. We will just turn off the gas and this curry is ready to be served. So our piping hot, delicious and scrumptious Bombay curry or Bombida curry is ready to serve.
Today I am back with a brand new episode which you will like it, which is a recipe of a very quick 1-pot meal. We are going to do a prawn biryani, prawn pulao, jhinga pulao, however you would like to call it. Let us quickly start into a scrumptious, delicious 1-pot meal. This is a very easy 1-pot prawn pulao. You can make it on any lazy day wherein you don't feel like cooking too much but you want to have a lavish meal. We are making a 1-pot prawn pulao. So for that, of course, we need the main ingredient prawn. As you see, I have cleaned the prawn, deveined it and deshelled it. I had taken 500 grams of prawn. After cleaning, this is what remains. It is approximately 300 grams. Now we will marinate this prawn with some turmeric and salt. So in goes the turmeric and salt. And also at this point, we will use some coriander paste. So this is coriander paste for the rice, but the same thing we will use it for the prawn. Mix and marinate and keep it aside for 10 to 15 minutes. We will start towards the process of cooking of the 1-pot prawn pulao. For that, we will need some oil. I have already preheated a thick bottom pan in which we are going to put 2 big spoons of oil. Be a little generous with the oil because rice preparations don't taste very well unless you put sufficient oil. So I'll just increase the flame for a minute so as to reach a high temperature, and we will put in sliced onions. These are 2 big sliced onions. We will fry them until they are golden brown. The flame is on high as you see, and the onions have started to brown. At this point, I am also adding a 1/4 spoon of salt so that the onions release the moisture fast. I feel that it is getting a little dry. We need some more oil. So I just make a well for the oil here, and on a high flame I add some oil.
Now we will allow these onions to fry for 5 minutes until they become nice deep brown. You see here that the onions are browning. They need to be a still more brown. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at rice. For making the one pot pulao, prawn pulao, what I have taken is I have taken this cup, a measuring cup, and 2.5 cups of rice I have taken, basmati rice, aged, washed it thoroughly and soaked it for 30 minutes in water and drained off all the excess moisture now. And these are the prawns. As I have measured the rice with this cup and rice is 2.5 cups, I am going to take 5 cups of water, same measurement, and I am going to heat it. I will be using warm water for the rice. So you see that I have taken 5 cups of water, kept it for boiling here, and here our onion is frying. The onion has browned nicely, into which now here at this point we will add 1 big spoon of ginger garlic paste and allow it to fry until it leaves out all the raw flavor. The ginger garlic paste has fried and now we are adding chilies. I have taken 4 chilies, long and slit, cut lengthwise, and I have taken 2 dark green chilies and 2 light green chilies. The light greens aren't hot, but the dark greens are hot. In this, what goes next is rice. Why I am adding rice first and not the prawn? Because I want to brown the rice. If I put the prawn, they'll leave a lot of moisture and the rice won't be fried. So I want to brown the rice a little. That is the reason I am putting the rice first. And now we will stir fry the rice until it becomes slightly brown. All the details to this recipe, the ingredient list and the method of cooking, you will find it in the description box below. What will follow next here is turmeric, and this is biryani masala, which is store bought. For all the Indians, we have biryani masala available easily, but people who are watching from other countries, you can buy it from any Indian store, any Indian grocery store. In my experience, when the rice is browned, it ensures even cooking of rice and each and every grain stands out in the recipe. Now into this, we are going to add the turmeric and the biryani powder, biryani masala. Any biryani masala of your choice and mix it well. The rice is continuing to brown, and in this time we'll put 1 cup of curd or yogurt. This is homemade curd. I've just beaten it up a little, and this we will mix into the rice. Allow the curd to cook in the rice for 2 minutes so that it gives a very creamy texture to the rice. The curd is evenly cooked in this rice, and now we will add mint paste, pudina paste. It is very difficult to store pudina, fresh leaves, mint leaves, so I usually make it a paste. And this particular key ingredient will take the biryani to the next level. Next, what goes in is the coriander paste. You can add fresh coriander, but I like coriander paste because I want to give it a greenish yellow shade to the rice. That is the reason I have not added any red chili powder. So I have taken coriander paste. So it becomes yellow green. Stir it for a minute. Almost all the ingredients are added now, and the last ingredient, which is the main ingredient, is the prawn. So all the prawns here go into the rice, and now you will see how the prawns start to leave water. The prawn has made the rice moist already. In many places in India, prawn is also called as jhinga. So you can call it a jhinga pulao or a prawn pulao or a shrimp pulao, anything. It is an easy one-pot meal. I had showed you that I have taken 5 cups of water which I had kept for boiling. It is almost boiling water. Now at this point I will add it to the rice. We will allow this to come to a boil now, and then we will reduce the flame and keep the rice for cooking for 14 to 15 minutes. That should be enough. The rice has started to get a vigorous boil. At this point, I am adding the salt. Salt is to your taste. I am adding 1 spoon of salt. The water has started to simmer. Now my flame is at its minimum, and what I will do is at this point, I will cover it for 14 to 15 minutes. So let us look at it after 15 minutes straight. Do not open or stir in between, it will be fine. It's 13 minutes that the rice was cooking in hot water, and you can see from the glass lid that the water has almost evaporated. So I will keep the flame on for 1 minute, after which I will switch it off, but I will not open the lid. So let the lid be closed here. It is exactly 14 minutes that the rice was cooking. Now at this point all the water has evaporated. I'll just open it a little for you to see. Yes, I'll close it quickly so all the flavors and the steam is retained. Turn off the gas and now allow it to steam up for another 15 minutes. Do not open. So you see, the prawn pulao or the jhinga pulao is ready. It is nice and steaming. Each and every grain is separate. Just put sufficient oil. Also keep a check on the proportion of rice and water. If you're cooking it in the open pot, it should be exactly double. Try to use hot water.